Hey, Tourpreneurs, it's Mitch Bach, and just a quick note before we begin today's episode. Tourpreneur is currently sponsored by Google. We're thankful for their support of our community, and we are offering with them a completely free course helping you unlock the power and potential of Google's Things to Do program, which is specifically helping tour operators add their tours to Google in new ways that gives you new exposure and more direct bookings. To learn more, go to tourpreneur.com/Google. And as always, show notes, more resources, links to our newsletter, our business coaching community, and so much more are available on tourpreneur.com. Now to the episode.
Today's episode of the Tourpreneur podcast is kindly sponsored by Checkfront, the booking platform trusted by over 5,000 tour and activity operators around the world. This month, Checkfront is offering an exclusive 90-day free trial for tourpreneurs. Find out more at checkfront.com/tourpreneur.
Welcome to the Tourpreneur podcast. Travel industry veteran Shane Whaley will take you on a journey with fellow tourpreneurs, sharing their tips, ideas, insights, and success stories to inspire you to make your tour business the best it can be. And now, here is your host, Shane Whaley.
And welcome back, Ryan. Day 9 of the Tour Operator 30-Day Things to Do Challenge. What have we got on today?
Yeah, so today we're going to be building off of Kyla's topic from yesterday, which was responding to negative reviews. And today's challenge is replying to positive reviews. So a little bit easier than yesterday's. But as we know, it's really important that we reply to both positive and negative reviews. There's lots of things to learn from both. So those that reply to positive reviews often get the opportunity to show appreciation to their customers. They take a lot of time to write these reviews sometimes. And it's also a good time to showcase your company's personality.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's human nature that very often we'll focus on that one negative review rather than the 10 positive reviews. What I like about replying to positive reviews is you give some tips in your workbook, which everybody can grab at tourpreneur.com/challenge, can get the workbook for the 30-day tour operator challenge. And you give some tips in there. Can you share some of those tips with us?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing you want to do is go to a place where you commonly get reviews. And if you don't have one of those, often it's Google or some third-party OTA. But you can always start by setting up a Google My Business account. That's always a good first step. But yeah, as far as tips go, try to be personable and sincere. That's what I think gets the message across best, trying to avoid being generic or copying and pasting messages. And if you remember anything about their visit, I mean, as listeners are really in tune with the experiences that their customers are having today. Maybe there was a birthday on that occasion and you remember that customer's name. It's good to mention that, glad to hear that you had a good time on your birthday, or if it was their first time doing some sort of activity like zip lining or bungee jumping, having those details and making it more personable is always a good call.
Yeah. And I like how in your workbook, as part of the challenge, you mentioned that ask for a testimonial. I think sometimes we're a bit shy about this. We feel it's a bit cheeky, right, to ask for a testimonial. But if you don't ask, you don't get. And secondly, most people, if they bother to write a review, they will have no problem with you sharing it, right?
Yeah, and they're advocates for your business. So to be able to help you in any way, that's why they wrote the review in the first place. And it's a valuable part to the funnel too. Lots of customers actually use testimonials and reviews to determine whether or not they want to book with your business. So yeah, it's an important one. And sharing feedback with your team was just another tip that kind of came to mind was, there's to have a really strong team, a great way to build, a very customer-centric team is to share that positive feedback with your team so that they understand the impact that they have on your customers.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I really like this one. And again, I think it's one that, maybe we feel a little embarrassed sometimes when we get a really good compliment, a 5-star review from someone, and actually, digging into that a little bit more, you've got an opportunity to find out what was it that someone really liked about your tour experience. And as you say in your workbook, to ask for a testimonial. So that's a fun challenge to work on. Day 9.
Absolutely, day 9.
Thanks for listening to the Tourpreneur podcast. Be sure to visit tourpreneur.com to join the conversation and access the show notes, including links to the resources mentioned on today's episode. This is Tourpreneur.